Okay. Hi everyone. Today I will talk about some information about uh, French, about Vietnam with Vietnam and USA, Vietnam and France, and Vietnam and China. So the first, Vietnam and France. Summarize the domestic and international historical background leading to the French invasion and colonization of Vietnam. Okay, so the decision to invade Vietnam was made by Napoleon III in July 1857. It was the result of not only of missionary propaganda, but also after 1850 of the upsurge of French capitalism, which generated the need for overseas markets and the desire for a larger French share of the Asian territories conquered by the West. Vietnamese resistance prevented the French from advancing beyond Saigon, and it took French troops under new command until 1861 to occupy the three uh, adjacent, adjacent provinces. The Vietnamese, unable to mount effective resistance to the invaders and their advanced weapons, um, concluded a peace treaty in June 1862, which which ceded to conquered uh, territories to France. 5 years later, additional territories in the south were placed under French rule. The the entire colony was named um, Kochai, China. Um, it had taken the French slightly more than 8 years to make themselves master of Kochai, China. A protectorate already had been imposed on Cambodia in 1863. It took them 16 more years to extend their control over the rest of the country. They made a first attempt to enter the Red River Delta in 1873 after a French naval officer and explorer named Francis Garnier had shown in a hazardous expedition that the Mekong River could not serve as a trade route into southwestern China. Warrior had some support from French governor of Kochai, China, but when he was killed in a battle with Chinese pirates near Hanoi, the the attempt to conquer the north collapsed. collapsed uh, within a decade. France had returned to the challenge in April 1882 with the blessing of Paris. The administration at Saigon sent a force of 250 men to Hanoi undercut Henry Ribery when Ribery was killed in a skirmish. Paris moved to impose its rule by force over the entire river delta. In August 1883, the Vietnamese count signed a treaty that turned northern Vietnam, named Ton Khi by the French, and central Vietnam named An Nam based on an early Chinese name for the region, into French protectorate. 10 years later, the French annexed Laos and added into the so-called Indochinese Union, which the French created in 1887. The Union consisted of the colony of Cochinchina and the four protectorates of Annam, Tonkin, Cambodia, and Laos. And uh, what did French colonists do in Vietnam and to Vietnamese people? How did the actions affect Vietnamese society and Vietnamese people? Were there any accidentally good things that French colonists did in Vietnam? Okay, so the French expropriated land and natural resources in Vietnam beginning in the 19th century, then set up plantations and other wealth extraction operations while imposing upon Vietnamese culture the supposed benefit of French culture, such as Roman Catholicism, which had the effects of westernizing with schools and hospitals here and there. As colonists, the French imposed their hegemonic mindset, which deprecated Vietnamese culture as French colonies and evolved to rule Vietnam infinitely, always elevating loyal Vietnamese to help them hold influence and political power. Mm, and um, there's exciting information that is about um, 17 parallel about background on 18 February 1954 at the Berlin Conference. Participants agreed that the problem of restoring peace in Indochina will also be discussed at the conference, to which representatives of the United States, France, the United Kingdom, the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, and the Chinese People's Republic, and other interested states will be invited. The conference was held at the Palace of Nations in Geneva, commencing on 26 April 1954. The first agenda item was the Korean question, to be followed by Indochina. Um, okay, and what countries supported Vietnam during the struggle against France. The majority of the support came from communist bloc countries. Um, so after all, um, currently almost all Vietnamese people don't hate everyone who comes from abroad, especially French, because Vietnam and French are good friends with each other nowadays. We have always tried to collaborate in many fields, and French peoples and France have been bringing many positive things to Vietnam. So now I will show you some information about Hỏa Lò prison, um, where um, treat where is treated to to um, where punish the political prisoner of Vietnam. Okay, so Hỏa Lò prison was built by French in 1896 on land belonging to Hỏa Lò village, specializing in making clay pots, clay pots and clay stoves sold everywhere in the capital. At that time located on the outskirts of the city with a large scale and fixed type on top in Indochina, with a total area um, 12,900 and 8 meters. This is the center of failures of both central and northern Vietnam. Okay. The French name of this prison is Maison Central. In Vietnamese, it is Nhà Tàu. At that time, it was often called Hanoi Prison. Hỏa Lò Prison is divided into four areas: A, B, C, and D. Areas 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 A and B are for prisoners studying and dangerous prisoners. Area C holds French or foreign prisoners, and Area D is where death row inmates are banned pending sentence reduction. Surrounding the prison is a solid solid stone is a solid stone wall 4 meter high and 0.5 meter thick, with broken glass and high voltage wires to prevent prisoners from escaping. So, how were these political prisoners treated in Hỏa Lò prison? And now, the class field Vietnamese Communist Party document reveals that the Vietnamese Communist Party Politburo discussed the issue of the treatment of Americans was in the fall of 1969. The Politburo prohibited on actual resolution that provide detailed an instruction for improving the treatment and living condition of American pro- personnel decree. Okay, so do you believe in all the information presented present in your reason? Give reasons to support your answer. Actually, I have a strong belief in information present, presented in Hua Lo prison because the information they have compiled by a lot of professors and sometimes it comes from what the old prisoners there said. Furthermore, the information must have been censored by the government and relevant departments before being recognized as a historical site. Um, so we move on to Vietnam versus West. Um, US. The United States involvement involvement in the Vietnam War began in the 1980s and escalated in 1965 until its withdrawal in 1973. The United States military presence in Vietnam peaked in April 1969 with 500 with 500 with 543 military personnel stationed in the country by the end of U.S. involvement. More than 3.1 million Americans resided in Vietnam, and uh, 58, uh, 58, um, 258,200 nine had died. Um, after the event of the fall Saigon, to which countries Vietnamese voting for refused to go? Why they why they Viet why citizens were generally assured assured of a simple way to leave the country just by showing up to an evacuation point. South Vietnamese who wanted to leave Saigon before it now often resorted to arrangements, the under-the-table payment required to obtain a passport and exit visa jump sixfold, and the price of going vessel trip, uh, etc.